Hey guys, welcome back to the Thisissoul Skate Shop YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna tell you everything there is to know about frame mountings. There are 4 different types of frame mountings on the market, and in this video I'm gonna explain everything there is to know about the advantages and the disadvantages, what types of skates come with different types of mountings, and what the best mounting for you is. The first modern day inline skates were on the market in the 80s, and these inline skates were designed from hockey skates. So they were like an adaptation to ice skates. Ice skates back then already used the same mounting that were used on these skates in the 80s, and we're gonna call this the original mount. There's no really good name for it, so I guess we'll just name it in this video. From now on, it's gonna be called the original mount. The original mount is a mounting standard that's used on the current day Roaches 1992, the old school Roaches FCO, and all the original rollerblade skates from back in the day. It's also used on the Impala Lightspeed skate and on the Powerslide Zoom skates. It's the standard that has, often it's a plastic frame, not always, not necessarily, and it has the mounting on the side here with a couple of rivets often. There's actually no frame on the market that comes like this that is bolted on. There's no particular reason to. They could make one, there just isn't. You can, however, swap these frames if you drill them loose. I made a tutorial about this, and I'll drop a link in the description of this video to this tutorial on how to take a drill and take off the frame from a boot like this. The cool thing about these boots that come with a frame mounting like this is that they're also easily convertible into aggressive skates. All the original aggressive skates were boots that had a mounting at first like this. More about aggressive frame mountings later. First, we're gonna talk about the 165mm mount. This is a standard that's also coming from ice skating, and I don't really know the ice skating history of this frame mount. So if there's any ice skaters watching this that know a lot more about the history of the 165mm mount, please let me know and drop it in the comments, because I like to learn. As far as I know, the first skate on the market that came with this skate was the Roaches Impala skate. I have it right here. Boom. It's a classic. You can see that it has the same boot as the Roaches FCO, but it has like little adapter plates, and in the adapter plates in the middle there's a thread where you can screw in the 165mm mounting frame. This frame standard is called the 165mm mount because the distance between the wheels is 165mm. There's also a version of this that is called the 195mm mount, and for this one, ta-da, this distance is 195mm. There's also a certain heel raise in these type of frame mounts, so the front of the skate is lower than the back of the skate. Within the standard, there's no set width, so you can have a frame as wide as you want. The 165mm mount standard is, however, not the strongest connection to the boot, because it's mounted in the center, the frame can be a little bit loose, and especially on like cheaper 165mm mount frames, it comes with a plastic base plate, and this can sit in a little bit loose. I'll show you here an example of a cheaper skate that I mean. You see here that the base is plastic. On the more expensive versions of the same FR skate that I'm holding, they have a metal plate here, and the metal plate makes sure that the frame is connected really strongly to the boot and that it cannot move. Another cool thing that you can see at the bottom of the skate here is that there's actually multiple threads in this metal plate so that you can kind of like pick your own position. More about frame positions in another video. The downside to this mounting standard is that you can always see that there's a little bit of room here where the toe sits pretty high above this mounting block. And with the original mount that we talked about before, this is actually possible to not have this height difference because you want to be as low to the ground as possible so that you're super stable. And because the 165mm mounting bolts sit right in between the wheels, right in the center, this kind of like is an obstacle in the design to make it really, really low. Powerslide figured out a workaround to this, and they designed the Trinity mount. So that's the next standard that we're going to talk about. The Trinity mount took the best things of the original mounts and the great things about the 165mm mount, combined it and merged it into a whole new mounting standard. It was brought to market in 2016, and this is really revolutionary because it was a long time ago when the last time like a new mounting standard came out. Right now only Powerslide skates have the Trinity mount, but there's actually going to come a new brand. It is the Icon brand that also has the Trinity mount, and there's also independent frame companies making frames for these types of boots. The Trinity mount has 2 holes on the side, so this enables the freedom in the middle to create the wheels where you want them. So if you're designing a frame, then there's no limitations anymore because of the mounting in the middle. Also, having the mounting holes on the side is just stronger. So this kind of like takes away the need of the metal plate to enforce everything, and not having this metal plate molded into the shell also makes the Trinity mounted boots a little bit cheaper to make, which is good for everybody, right? The Trinity mount enables more freedom to design the wheel positions wherever you want it. I want to be as low to the ground as possible, but weirdly enough, if you look at this next boot with the Trinity mount and 4x90 wheels, there still is some room here, which I don't really like. So I don't really understand why they made this skate like that, because on other boots, it actually is designed to be like super low. There's a frame market explosion gonna happen like next year for sure, and in the next couple of years as well. So I hope soon there will be more options for me to skate a Trinity boot, so that I also can be like super low to the ground with my 4x90 skate. Right now, because I want to be as low to the ground as possible, I'm using a UFS boot. A UFS, this is the standard developed in 2001 for aggressive skaters. At first, there were only like small wheels made for grinding on the market, but in the last couple of years, there's been like a hardware revolution for the frame market, and a lot of different options came out. So now you have like 4x90, 4x100 with the rocker, and even like 5 wheels and the 3 wheels, which we always don't recommend, but it's still everything that you want is on the market for UFS now as well. UFS stands for Universal Frame System, because within the aggressive skate market, all skates at one time were supposed to have this universal standard, so every frame within aggressive skating could fit on every boot. And the standard of a UFS frame is the same as a 165mm mount, because the distance of the bolts is the same, but the difference is that a UFS frame is flat, so there's no heel raise, it's just straight. What's the difference actually between a straight frame like a UFS frame and a 165mm mounting frame that has a heel raise. Why would you prefer one or the other? I'm gonna have an entire video just about this topic pretty soon, but the brief summary I'll give you right now. The reason why aggressive skates have the flat base is because it enables room for a shock absorber, which is just a cushion under your heel. And this is nice if you jump and you land, so to create a soft feeling. But it also takes away some of your control. So if you want to do like advanced braking techniques or steering or just pushing off really hard, the shock absorber also absorbs your energy and your control. So if you're not doing crazy high jumps, maybe UFS is not necessary. So those are the 4 main types of frame mounting techniques on the market right now. There are actually also skates that don't have a separate frame in which the boot is attached to the frame. Usually these skates are low-end skates that you should avoid. So I would advise against any of the skates on the market that don't have a separate frame, because probably also a lot of other things wrong with that skate if it doesn't have a frame that can be detached. There's one skate on the market though that is an exception, and that's an aggressive skate. It's the USD Aeon. It also comes as an 80mm version, by the way, for freestyle skaters. And this is like a genius revolutionary skate, because not having a frame that comes off enables the designer of the skate to have the wheel configuration that most aggressive skaters actually desire. So for aggressive skating, you want to have a big groove to grind on, to slide over rails with, and this is in the middle of your wheels. So you want your middle wheels to go outside as far as possible, and then again the mounting holes are always in the way. So that's why not having the mounting holes is a really good option for the USD Aeon skates. So these are all the things that I know about every different mounting technique on the market. Is there something I missed? Drop it in the comments. And also, do you know anything that I don't about the ice skating history of the 165mm mount? Also, please inform me about this and drop it in the comments. We have a store here in Amsterdam, so if you want to buy some skates or buy some frames, you can always come here, check it out, see how they fit, come for a cup of coffee, sit on our bar, hang out. So maybe I'll see you here in the store, and otherwise we make a new video like this every week. So I'll see you next week. Bye bye. Hey babe, ik ben aan een video aan het opnemen. Ik spreek jou later, ja? So stupid. 195. Oh shit. 1995. Oh god, again. Ja, klopt.